everybody, welcome back. Today is the final day of Pinestar. It's been so cool learning more about him through his novella Pinestar's Choice. There were so many cool scenes in the book, so it was hard to just pick 7. But I hope you've enjoyed the scenes that my sister and I have done. Next week we'll continue on with the succession of ThunderClan leaders through Sunstar. So I'd love to hear down below some ideas for his week of Speedpaints. Alright, so we left off last time with Pinestar telling ThunderClan that he could no longer be their leader, and that he was leaving to become a kitty pet. But a kitty pet needs an owner, and today we'll find out who Pinestar belongs to now. You can follow along with me in the book, it's on pages 205 through 210. Pinestar padded through the forest for the last time, keeping to well-trodden paths. It didn't matter if a patrol saw him. He was no longer their leader. No cat would be interested in him now. He had no responsibilities. No need to worry about fresh kill piles or border marks, or whether the Elder's Den would leak in the next rainstorm. The long grass closed in around him as he crouched down and leaped over the border between his old life and his new one. He landed with a thud, and his legs suddenly felt old and tired. He realized that he was trembling, and for a heartbeat, a sense of dizziness and emptiness opened up inside of him. All of his life he had known what he was. A kit, an apprentice, warrior, deputy, a leader, each role marked out by his name. The way his clanmates treated him, the boundaries of the territory and the routine of each day. All that had vanished. What was left? For a moment, Pinestar wanted to go back. He would no longer be ThunderClan's leader, but he could be an elder. Safe, sheltered, well-fed, with no responsibilities, not even for his own ticks. But his clanmates would still be around him. He would still have to watch cats go out and fight, and never return. And he would be just as powerless to change Tiger Kit's destiny. Pinestar kept going. He trotted through several kitty pet territories, passing Tyr, who was dozing on a patch of sun-baked stone, over a wall along a narrow path, and then he was standing at the edge of the thunder path, picturing the very last time he'd seen Shanty. His paws felt heavy as he crossed the little thunder path, not letting himself look down at the faint brown stain where she'd died. She wasn't there anymore, he told himself. All her pain, all her fear in that terrible moment was over. Wherever she was safe now. He paused at the entrance to Shanty's home. He could hear her housefolk talking outside their den, their voices rumbling softly. Was it his imagination, or did they sound sadder than before? They must miss Shanty even more than I do. He took a deep breath. This was it. This is why he had made his choice to leave the clan. I can help you. I can never replace Shanty, but I might fill a part of the gap that she's left. I know you feel it, because I feel it too. He walked past the glossy green hedge into Shanty's territory. The two legs stopped talking and stared at him, their brown eyes wide. The male gestured at Pinestar and yelled. He clearly wanted Pinestar to go away. It's me, Pinestar mewed. Shanty's friend. The two-leg took a step towards him, suddenly looming as tall as a tree and rumbling ominously. Pinestar shrank back in alarm. This wasn't an enemy that he could fight. There was no rule about this in the warrior code. He was nothing more than an intruder here. But the female two-leg moved forward and put out her light brown paw on the male's foreleg. Her voice was softer, as if she was asking him for something. She pointed at Pinestar and bared her teeth. Pinestar held his breath and waited. After a few moments, the female crouched down and held out her paw towards him. She was making the same noise that she'd made to Shanty, gentle and encouraging, like an invitation to come closer. Pinestar took one step forward. He knew Shanty's two-leg wasn't going to hurt him. The first time she tried to touch him, he'd been nervous, but now he didn't feel brave so much as trusting, relieved, and full of memories of his beloved kitty pet friend. It was almost as if Shanty was beside him, wreathing around him in delight. I knew you two would be friends, she purred in his ear. He kept very still as Shanty's two-leg stroked his ears. Her paw was softer than Jake's two-leg, and it tickled. She made another sound that seemed even more welcoming to Pinestar. Fascinated, he moved nearer to her. This time she ran her whole paw along his back, smoothing his fur and dislodging leaf scraps that he collected on his run through the forest. The male two-leg joined her. Even when he was crouched down, he was still huge. Pinestar forced himself to stay still as the male reached out with his huge dark brown paw, though he was still as gentle as the female, though his paw felt heavier and rougher. Pinestar rubbed his head against the hairless underside, letting his scent mingle with the strong, musky scent of the two-leg. And then Pinestar is invited into the two-leg's house, and he has dinner with them. After this, he decides to go and visit his friend Jake. Hey! I didn't think you'd come back. You know, after Shanty, for a while, I wasn't sure that I would. But I think I can do some good here, for Shanty's housefolk. More than I can do for my clan. What do you mean? Have you left ThunderClan? Yes, I have. Wow, that makes it feel very real. The Ginger Tom looked impressed. You'd really give all that up to be a kitty pet for Shanty's housefolk? I really would. Shanty would like that, Pinestar. Do you want to meet some of your new neighbors? You haven't seen Quincy yet, have you? She's a real sweetheart. I should go home. My housefolk are expecting me. Oh, and my name isn't Pinestar anymore. It's Pine. Just Pine. It suits you. Welcome home, Pine. I suspect that Pine lived happily for several years with Shanty's housefolk and peacefully lost his 9th life and passed away and returned to StarClan. We know that Pine returned to StarClan because he's there to give Bluestar one of her 9 lives. My personal theory is that much later, during the timeline of about Into the Wilds of Fire and Ice, Pine's owners adopt a new fluffy white cat named Oliver, and he falls in love with Firestar's sister Princess and woos her by his awesome koi pond. Remember Shanty's koi pond? Ooh yes, now it has come full circle. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning more about Pinestar and that now you view him a little differently. And I'd love to hear in the comment section down below what you think about my little theory about Oliver. Do you think that he became Shanty's owner's cat after Pine? Let me know down below. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure to go and check out the video over on the side of my last speed paint. And click that subscribe button so you can always be notified when I make my next video. Alright guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll see you soon with the next speed paint. Bye-bye!